Hi everyone, this is Samiya and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today in this video we are going to talk about all of the questions which you guys have asked me, whether it's related to me, like my personal life, or related to learning English. So I will be answering all of the questions. Actually, I was not able to be consistent. I was not able to upload videos at all because I was literally having extremely hectic days. But from today on, I will be making sure that I do upload videos frequently. So do not worry about it. So without further delay, let's quickly get into the video. So the first question many of you have asked me is, where are you from? So I've already mentioned that I belong to Jharkhand. But many of you have asked me about my city's name. So I live in one of the small districts in Jharkhand, which is known as Simdega. Well, it's not a city, it is just a small town. So many people might not know about it. Another one is, what's your qualification? So just a few days ago, I have completed my bachelor's degree. Well, I have not got the degree yet, but I have completed all of my exams and all the process. So I'm just waiting for my result. Another one is, what are you pursuing? So I have been pursuing history in Bachelor of Arts. So the next one is, what is your level of fluency and proficiency? And how would you like to define your current level of English? Okay, so first of all, I do not really look at things in this way. I just think that I can speak in English, but do not really pressurize myself by thinking that probably I am an intermediate English speaker or I am an advanced English speaker. Because I think once you get into this kind of stuff, you would always feel pressurized that, hey, you have to reach to the next level. You have to overcome this plateau, or you have to reach to this and that level. And I do not really want that kind of concept in my life. And the second thing is that I have never ever thought to participate in IELTS exam. So I don't really need to think that, okay, I need to have B1 level or I need to have B2 or C1 level, that kind of stuff. And I would highly recommend you not to get into this thing if you have not planned to participate in IELTS exam. So just go with the journey, just enjoy the journey, and you don't really need to worry about, okay, which level I have and okay, I want to attain this and that level. So just go with the flow and try to put your efforts. Another one is, how to learn English grammar. So I'm a kind of person who is not really the biggest fan of studying grammar with the notebooks or with any sort of books. I feel you can learn grammar naturally just by consuming a lot of content, and this is how I learned. I mostly learned grammar because of reading, because I read a lot. I was literally reading so many articles every single day. And it kind of helped me a lot to understand that, okay, how am I supposed to construct sentences? How am I supposed to put any specific word in a sentence? So I learned grammar naturally. And if you're someone who is not in hurry, and if you're someone who is not in that kind of pressure that you have to be very, very good at writing, because when it comes to writing, you have to be very good at grammar. But if you have some time, if you can allow some time to yourself to grasp everything naturally without putting a lot of pressure on yourself, then I would highly recommend you to just read as much as you can. And I guess within few months, you can understand that, okay, I can learn grammar easily and I could learn grammar easily. Another question is, from where did you learn video editing and which camera do you use? So all the editing skills I acquired them from YouTube. Although I'm not really pro at it, I only know basics. But yeah, I have learned all of them from YouTube without taking any course. I just watched few tutorials and then I understood about it, that okay, how am I supposed to edit videos. When it comes to which camera I have been using, so I only use my phone's camera, and I have been using mobile, which is Vivo T2. So another one is how to become a better storyteller. So I feel over time I got better at storytelling because initially I was not really good at it. I did not know how to speak, how to articulate my thoughts in a more better way. But now I get better at it because of several things. First of all, I started speaking in front of camera and started uploading them. So which has always motivated me that you have to, just tell a story in a better way and in a clear way so that anybody can understand you. And there's another thing which played a significant role, and that is my background, because I have been pursuing history, and as a history student you are supposed to create a lot of stories. You are not supposed to memorize everything. You cannot mug up everything, because sometimes we have to write at least 8 to 9 pages for one question, and you cannot memorize all of them. So first of all, you have to understand that you have to create stories. Just understand the concept and try to create stories in your own way. We researched a lot, we studied a lot of literature, we studied this and that just to have the good understanding of a paragraph, just to have the good understanding of a better story, which can help us to understand things easily. And once we understood them, now we're supposed to put them in our own words, which kind of taught us that okay, you have to express your thoughts and express your feelings in this and in that way. So this is how I got better at storytelling, but still I need to learn a lot. Another one is how to be consistent. So to be very honest, I never struggled to be consistent, because I feel if you have a goal which is motivating enough, if you have a goal which is inspiring enough, then nobody can stop you to be consistent. You are not supposed to procrastinate at all. So I can give you example. When I was learning English, there were many times I wanted to give up because the journey was extremely tough and difficult. But I could be consistent. I could not skip even for a single day because my goal was motivating enough. It was kind of scary as well, but I used to look at it in a different way. I used to think that I have to do it. Otherwise, the situation was do or die. I know I'm over exaggerating it, but this was the situation for me. Either I do it or die. So if you have a goal which is kind of motivating to you, then nobody can stop you to be consistent. Another one is I can read English, understand as well, but I am unable to speak. What to do? Okay, so in my opinion, when a person can read, write, understand, can do every other step except of speaking, then there's only one possibility, and that is probably you have not trained your tongue enough to speak in English. So what happens? Sometimes our mind is not trained, sometimes our tongue is not trained. So we need to train them by following different steps. So what usually happens, we think like, okay, we have been following all the other steps like reading, writing, listening and all the other steps, and we think that we will automatically start speaking. But that doesn't really work. You will have to make time to speak, even though if you're speaking broken English. It's completely okay if you're making hundreds of mistakes every single day. That's completely okay. But you need to train your tongue to speak. And if you do it over and over again, if you try to speak even just for 5 minutes every single day for around like 1 to 2 months, you will see huge improvement in yourself. You can feel it that now I can speak English without any kind of hesitation. But yeah, it will take you some time because learning any language is not a cup of tea. You cannot easily learn it. It will take time, but the result will be worth it. Another one is how can we be fluent in English? So this is the question a lot of you have asked me, that how to become fluent in English. So the only answer I can give you is by practicing. I do not really call myself a fluent English speaker, but I feel I can articulate my thoughts, I can speak what I really want to, and it is happening because I have spoken for hours for a very long time. You will have to practice. If you want to speak fluent, then you will have to speak every single day. Like, you can take example of something. For example, you started learning baking. This is just an example. Just suppose you want to learn baking. For the very first time, that cake will turn out miserable. Like, you can't even imagine that cake. But once you try it at least 10 to 15 times, you will become a very, very good baker. So how did it happen? How did it happen? Because you practiced a lot. You tried same thing over and over again, even though when you were making mistakes. So the same rule applies while learning English. You have to try every single day. But yeah, that's completely different, that within 15 days you will not be able to improve, because it takes a lot of time. You will have to allow some time to yourself if you want to become fluent in English. Another one is, how do you edit your videos, like voiceover to script writing, setup, products that you use, and editing. Okay, so actually I do not really have any specific setup to film videos, or I do not have fancy equipments and products. I have been using a very few products like this mic, my mobile phone, and a tripod. When it comes to script writing, I prefer to write in my own words, because I think I've been speaking about my experience. I am sharing my experience, that what I have gone through. So it is helpful for me to put it in my own words. When it comes to voiceover, actually there are a very few videos I made with the help of voiceover, but that consumes a lot of my time. So I do not really do it frequently, but probably in future I will go with that. So that's all about this video. Actually, I could not really cover all of your questions in this video, because then this video would be too long. But do not worry, I will be making the part 2 of this video, which I will be uploading very soon. I hope you liked watching this one and got some information, got to know something about how you're supposed to learn this language easily and how you're supposed to speak English fluently. So thank you so much for watching this video once again. I hope you're having a great day. Just take care of yourself. Bye-bye.